Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be answering a question that has been asked on the channel. Now, if you look at the top right corner of your screen, you should see that question. And to summarize it, this person is asking how they can prepare ahead for their nursing program starting in the United Kingdom in January. First of all, let me start by saying a huge congratulations. Well done on gaining the offer to study nursing. It's an amazing journey that you're about to get on with, and I hope it turns out well for you, and it's everything that you've dreamed it would be, hopefully. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Winnie, and on this platform, I share my experiences as an international student in the United Kingdom. And today, I'm going to be answering this question. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click on the subscribe button. But don't stop there. Like, share, and comment, and I'll be right back. Now, first things first, you need to understand the structure of the program you're going into. Now, one mistake a lot of students make, or some students make, is that they head on straight into their journey, their academic journey, without first taking a pause, a step back to understand what the structure is to help them with better organization. So here's what you're going to do first. You're going to send an email to your module leader, program leader, whatever contact the school has given you. I'm sure you would have had a contact by now. And in that email, you'll be asking what the modules are that you'll be studying. But usually these are listed on the website. So let's take a step back. First of all, go to the university website. Go to your course, your program, the nursing. Go under your program, look for the modules. It's always listed on the website. Get a jotter, a pen, paper, write it down, what the module is all about, what the subject matters are all about. Jot it down. That's step number one. Now, what this would do for you is that it will give you an hint. Now, basically, what they've written down there will not be detailed. It's definitely going to be short, just maybe a few sentences to explain bits and pieces of what you should be expecting for each module that you've come across on the website. It's not going to be any detailed information, but at least that gives you a rough sketch, a foundation to start with. Now, when you've gotten this information, you can then progress to send an email to the contact you have for that program, who might be the program leader, a lecturer, whoever it is, that contact person you have. Email them, introduce yourself. You're starting your program in January or whatever time you're starting. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in the UK or outside the UK, although I'm answering this question regarding response to someone who got an admission to study in the UK. This can be relevant to you if you're studying nursing or any other program in any other part of the world. Email whoever that program leader is and then introduce yourself. I'm excited to start the program beginning blah 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 blah. I am blah 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 blah. These are my experiences blah 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 blah. However, I have gone to the website. I have noticed that these are the modules that would be covering during the course of the program. Are there any background materials that you can recommend for me to study to be better prepared ahead of the program? Now, what this does is that it tells them that you're someone who is proactive, which is a very good quality if you're going to be studying nursing. So when you have this information, this email sent, most likely they will respond to you. They'll probably recommend textbooks or articles or websites. They might recommend something, and that is something, right? So when you have this to your hand, you're able to go back, study these materials. Okay, so first of all, just to recap what I've said now, visit the website, look up the modules that you'll be studying, send an email to your program leader and ask if there are background materials that they could recommend for personal study to be better prepared. Now, let's talk about anatomy and physiology. Now, I don't think there's any nursing program that you would come across or you would study without a bit of anatomy and physiology. So I think it's worth reading up anatomy and physiology. You know, that biology that you did while you were in high school, secondary school, whatever you call it in your home country or whatever part of the world you're from. Go back to biology, the basics, study the systems of the body, break it down, make it easy for you. Cardiovascular, respiratory, renal system. There are many systems in the body. So go and read about the systems of the body. Now, you don't need to go into details. What are these systems meant for? How do they operate? What is the structure? Just the basics. Now, you can find anatomy and physiology textbooks online. You could decide to purchase one. Probably or hopefully the program leader you've sent an email to might even recommend a good anatomy and physiology textbook for you, or it could even be part of the questions you asked in that email that you're going to be sending. So prepare ahead, start background study on anatomy and physiology. That would help you. Now go to point number 3. Think about pharmacology. Whilst you're studying anatomy and physiology, try to think about medications, basic medications for different disease conditions. Just the basic, okay? You don't need to go in depth. Basic medications, just try to link it up to the systems of the body. So let's say you're talking about cardiovascular system, you might come across conditions like hypertension, and then you might decide, oh, let me read what are the pharmacology that deals with hypertension. What are those medications? What are the drug classes? It might look like I'm saying too much now, but by the time you open a textbook to read, you understand better what I'm highlighting. So go beyond studying basic anatomy and physiology. Try to link it up to common disease conditions and then medications that are used to treat them, because when you go on your first placement, you come across a lot of medications, but knowing the basics, like I've come across this medication, I read about it, this is what it's used for, just the basics, okay? Nothing in depth, but the basics, that will go a long way. Another thing that can help you prepare better would be learning about medical terminologies. Now, that's something that I came across when I started my program. There were a lot of terminologies. You'll be having nursing handovers, participating in nursing handovers, and you see where the nurses are communicating. A patient hypod, a patient had hyperglycemia, hypoglycemia. There are lots of terms. You could hear terms like QDS, TDS, BD. What does this term mean? I think this is something that you can start. Just a simple random search on Google will prop it up for you. Now make sure you're narrowing your search to the context that you're going into. Now, for you who send the email, you've mentioned United Kingdom. So if you're doing your search, you can write common medical terminologies in healthcare or in the NHS in the United Kingdom. And I'm sure something informative will prop up. So having background study, understanding these terminologies, like I said, you don't need to learn everything, just the basic ones. A little bit here and there can help you, so that by the time you start, you're not feeling so strange, because I would tell you it takes a while to adjust, but these things will help you adjust quicker. So understand medical terminologies that are relevant to the context you're going into. So whatever you're searching, make sure it's relevant to the context you're going into. That would also help you. Another important way of preparing is understanding the professional code of conduct that governs the context you're going into. Now, for context, this person is going into nursing in the United Kingdom. So in the United Kingdom, there's a body called the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Now, this body has a code of conduct that guides how nursing is practiced in the United Kingdom. So type on Google NMC, code of conduct, read up the code of conduct. That it's like your Bible for nursing in the UK that governs practice. So having an idea of what governs practice helps you make sure that you're practicing within boundaries, even though you're going in to study nursing, which means you're not a nurse yet, not a qualified nurse yet. But even as a student nurse, this code of conduct governs you also. So understanding this basic, in fact, this is very, very important. So go and understand the professional code of conduct of that context you're going into. If it's in the UK, NMC, Nursing and Midwifery Council code of conduct, go and understand what it is. This will guide you to practice in a way that is appropriate, okay, in a way that is acceptable. It helps you to avoid mistakes, okay. If you have read this up, you will avoid some unnecessary problems or challenges or mistakes, because you already know what is expected of you. So go and read up NMC code of conduct. Apart from that, in the UK, most likely you'll be sent into the NHS for your nursing practice. Here we call it placement, but I know in some parts of the world they call it nursing practice. So NHS is like a government hospital. Okay, I'll just make it like a synonym to what is prevalent in Nigeria. Government hospital, that's the way I can liken it. So NHS is what they call it here. So go and read about the NHS values. They have values. Study the NHS values, NMC code of conduct. Go and read about ROCN, Royal College of Nursing. They have some articles that they publish for student nurses. You can go onto their website, see if there's any free article, or I don't know if you have to pay. Just find articles, okay, that are relevant to the context you're going into and study them, okay? Another major way to prepare ahead is to develop good study habits. Now, if you have gone through the steps from the first step I have mentioned here to help you prepare, then you know that you have to do a lot of background study. So that means automatically you should be studying even before you come into the UK to start the program, or if you're already in the UK before you start the program. So it means that already you should have been doing some sort of study here and there. Now, developing good study habits helps you, okay, so that when you come in, it's easy for you to adapt and adjust. And in the UK, we do exams. In nursing, you come across exams. Some of your courses will be tested through examinations. Some others might be through presentations. Some others might be through writing. All right, essays. So learn what critical writing is, learn about reflective writing, learn about paraphrasing, learn about summarizing, learn about referencing, just the basics. And I can tell you, if you go on YouTube, you find videos. I think I did a video about critical writing, but if that's something you want me to do again, just drop in the comment section and I'm more than willing and happy to do a video to explain in the simplest form what critical writing is all about, because a lot of students fail not because they don't know it, but because they don't know how to write critically. Okay, so learn critical writing, reflective writing, referencing, paraphrasing. These are basics. Now, if you don't know how to create presentations, go and learn how to do it, because you might be asked to do a PowerPoint presentation, okay? So learn how to create presentation slides. These are little, how to use Microsoft Word. If you're not very good at that, learn how to use it. Practice, practice. You still have time, okay? So these are the things that you can do to help you build that skill that will help you excel during the course of your study. Now, to conclude, I would say build the right type of mindset, develop a positive mindset. Now, this program is accelerated, which means that everything could be going on fast, okay? And you might be thinking, I don't have enough time to adjust. That's why you need the right mindset, and that's why you need to prepare ahead. Now, with the right mindset, it means that you're patient and you're embracing your journey, okay? Embrace your journey and be patient. Now, there's a video that I shared uploaded last on this video. I think I shared on how to pass your accelerated nursing program, the things that you need to do to pass. Now, if you have the time, go and watch that video because it was quite detailed. I shared from my experience some things that can help you to stay on track and to excel, okay? So if you have time, go and watch that video. But developing the right mindset will go a long way to help you. You need to be very patient on this journey. You need to learn how to ask questions. If there's anything that you don't understand, ask questions. And I'm telling you, lecturers like students that ask questions, that engage with the course. That's what it means to engage. Ask questions, utilize the resources that are available to you. Go and watch that video because I shared everything. I don't want to be going over it again in this video. So if you have any more questions, please drop them in the comment section. And I hope I was able to answer your questions clearly and in a very detailed way. If there's any area that is not yet clear to you, feel free to drop a message, drop a comment, and don't stop at liking this video. If you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. But if you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button. Please like, please share, and please comment. And until we meet again, guys, this is me saying keep winning and enjoying life, and bye.